Hi, everyone. I'm with William from France, and we're going to learn a lot about William and his case. Yeah, let's just jump right into it, William. Thanks for
Yeah.
doing this.
Well, thank you for having me today.
William, tell us about your topical steroid withdrawal journey. How long were you in TSW? What potency of steroids did you use?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tell us.
All right. So first of all, thank you for having me today. It's very good to be here. So yeah, I've been through a rough ride using topical steroids. I think like many of us here at the clinic and many of us in the world. Uh, I've been using like a rough total amount of maybe 3 kilograms of class 2 steroids since I was 18 years old. Now I'm 31. And I've been having the TSA, so topical steroid addiction symptoms since 5 years already. So I've been having, the red sleeves, the oozing on the entire body, the infections since 2019 basically. And I've been completely cutting out steroids creams since 2 years. And by steroid creams, I also include protopic. So I've been basically cutting all kind of creams since 2 years. So we can say that I'm in TSW since 2 years, but having had TSA symptoms since 5 years already.
Okay. We're going to talk about the kgs of steroids and the potency in short order, but I want to ask you, how did you learn about CAP?
Wow. Thanks to you, basically. Thanks to you and Kyle. I mean, it's been difficult for us, I think, non-native English speakers to get this information about CAP and TSW, because basically TSW is an English acronym. So in France, so I'm French.
Yeah.
In France, it's not as easy as it might be maybe for English speakers to have the reflex to type on Google topical steroid creams, because in France it's not the same name. It's cortisone, which is another denomination. So when you want to find your symptoms, your first reflex as a French speaker is to type on Google, cortisone problems or whatever. But by chance, I had the reflex to type steroid addiction or something like that on Google, and I stumbled upon TSW symptoms, and one thing led to another, and I stumbled across your Instagram account, Carl's account as well, and that made me have hope, basically, and that's changed a lot on my mindset, and I found all this information like a year ago. So for this, I mean, for maybe 4 years and a half, I've been thinking that I would never get rid of my disease, and all the dermatologists in France told me that I had a severe eczema. And so I was like, okay, I will have to cope with it my entire life. I will never get through it, which pushed me into very dark places, mentally speaking.
Yeah.
Because at some point I didn't see any reason to keep pushing, to continue, because I was still working. It was very painful for me to go to work still.
Yeah.
Having a social life was very difficult as well. I was spending all my money into treatments, into creams, into dupixent, which cost a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's just so painful.
Yes,
The
it is.
condition is just so painful.
Yes, absolutely. It's so painful. And as I said, I managed to keep going to work like every day. While I was working in Paris at the time, I had to take the bus every day, like 1 hour and a half ride to go to my work, working in the factory, and then I head back at the end of the day again, one hour and a half bus ride every day like that. Like starting at 9 p.m., finishing like 6 or 7 p.m. It was like very long days, lots of hard work.
What factory did you work at, or what kind of work did you do? And do you still do that work?
Yes, I still do that work, but I switched now. I work on another plant in the southwest of France, in Bordeaux. I don't know if you're heard about
I
that?
mean, we all know Bordeaux.
Oh, really? Well, thank you. That's where I live now. And at the time, I was working in Paris. I'm an engineer, and I work on spacecrafts basically. So my job is yeah to build and industrialize uh, new parts for the new rocket launchers, the Ariane European rocket launchers. So that's what I'm doing. At the time, I was working on liquid propulsion. Now I'm working on solid propulsion in the south of France. And so you can imagine that we are getting exposed to lots of chemicals, lots of irritants for our skin, which is very weak. Mine was so weak at the time. My skin was almost inexistent because steroids, creams had atrophied my skin. And it was so weak. At some point, we could see my flesh, and it was very, very difficult and very painful. But by the way, I still managed to keep going on, to keep working. At some point, it also helped me, to have my job in my life, because it helped me not to think too much about what I had. But at the end of the day, I was in so much pain of because everything I've went through, because of all the irritants I've got exposed to. But at the time, I didn't know. The dermatologist told me, like, yeah, you just have eczema. You just have to keep on putting steroid creams on your skin. You just have to keep on putting emollient, like creams, basically, which gave me hardened skin at the time also. But I didn't know about anything about that. So it was such a relief to to come across your Instagram account, to come across all the knowledge you want to share, to come across the clinic here, the staff, the knowledge you gather here. Honestly, I've made so much progress in the past 4 months since I've been here in Thailand at the clinic than I've ever made before.
What did you learn about your case? And I think that's the point where we can bring in the 3 kgs, the potency, and what did you learn about, like just your typical job too that you were doing, which sounds amazing. Your
Thank you.
work sounds awesome, but like what did you learn about how you were living your life?
Well, it was a rough pill to swallow at first, because everything Jay told me, like, nobody told it to me before. No doctors, no dermatologists in France ever told me what he told me. Like, basically, steroid creams have atrophied my skin and my skin cells' capacity to proliferate, and so I have to be very aware about what surrounds me, in both in my personal environment and in my professional environment. So I would have to make sacrifices in the next few years, and maybe in my entire future life, to be
What does
able.
he say? You have to change your life.
Yes,
Yeah.
basically that's what he said to me. Yeah, and when he told that to me, at first I think I didn't really realize what it meant. I just said, "Oh yeah, okay, I think I understand." But after a few days, his words have been I've been processing what he told me, and I've said, "Oh my God, I think I have to quit my job. I think I have to maybe change my entire life, like maybe change the place I live as well. Like, so much sacrifices I have to do." And at first, I didn't really realize,
What it meant.
yeah, what it meant. Yeah, absolutely. So
So what has happened throughout these 18 treatments that you've been here for that you've sort of learned, okay, now I need to make X changes, and what changes do you plan to make when you get home?
okay, well, I think the most important changes are the little one. And by that, I mean the living habits we can have. Stuff, really simple stuff, like, having our arms like that on the table. I think it's not good at all. And I'm doing what I'm doing here. Don't do that at home. No, but I mean that tables are often cleaned by chemical products, and you want to avoid any contact with the chemicals. So it's not easy to change all those reflexes that you might have in life, and it's also valid for the place we are living in. So how to clean your room, how to manage, I mean, to avoid chemicals in your room. Just clean with hot water or steam water, or avoid detergent in the washing machines, stuff like that. It may be very simple or very easy just to hear those words, but when you have habits in your life, it might be very difficult. Of course, you have to cut all the perfumes, all the shampoos, all the stuff with that smells, basically. But I feel like for me, reflecting on the past 4 months, I think it helped a lot cutting all the stuff and to understand how not to get too much exposure to irritants in my daily life, in the public transportation, in once in a while I like going to a restaurant with my friends, or having like
Bordeaux.
yeah Bordeaux, yeah, having a glass of whatever sometimes. You want to cut out any sugar intake and alcohol intake as well. But I mean, it's good also to we've been under a lot of pressure and dark thoughts and difficulties, and I think once in a while you have to allow yourself also to have this kind of moment when you can reconnect to a normal life, I would say, with some friends, with some people you like, just to be able to socialize again. It feels so good inside, and I feel like I'm so happy, to be able to live again those kind of moments. It's so precious to me now.
So you've gotten your life back to a degree.
To a degree, yeah, to a degree.
Okay.
And I'm so happy about that. I know that I'm still weak skin-wise, but
I was going to ask you about how you feel about your skin strength. So thank you.
Yeah, well, I know I'm still weak. I know I still react to, I would say, low to mild irritants.
Okay.
But I now know, I have the knowledge now, and it's so much power I have now, to be in my daily life able to manage and to be aware, to it's like I have a vision, a new superpower now. I can now detect, where I should go, where I shouldn't.
Yeah.
If I smell something, in a mall, I try to change my path to go to another way. It's like my brain has been switched to a certain level, and I'm so happy about that, because now I'm able to better manage the irritants.
I mean, I was going to ask you for an example. So you kind of painted a picture for us, but what happens to your skin now, and how quickly does it react?
I did a crash test last week. So I wanted to enjoy my last few days in Bangkok. So I went to a club. I wanted
Excellent.
to.
Okay.
I wanted to try it out. I wanted to try it out before coming back to France, because here I still have the treatment. So I was like, okay, I feel good enough to try this out and to see how it goes. So I didn't went completely crazy, of course. I just wanted to see, in this kind of environment, how would I react. And so I went with a friend of mine, and it went real good. Honestly, it went real good. But I avoid touching anyone. I avoid touching any surface with my skin. I danced, so I sweated a bit, but I felt real good, and my skin just reacted a little. Like I just got on the parts of my body which are still the weakest ones, which are over there on my arms, a bit on my scalp, and on my chin a bit.
Yeah.
I reacted a bit. I had little flares, but it was very manageable. And now with the treatment I had today, I feel really confident, that my skin is not strong enough to do that on a daily basis. Of course not, but to do that once in a while.
So let me ask you another question to elaborate on that. Your skin now is at 100% healing rate.
Yes.
Can you describe what that means to people from your vantage point?
Yes. So when you go through TSW, your skin is atrophied. So basically, your skin thickness at on some parts of your body goes to maybe 0%. What you want to do is to increase the skin thickness. And so in order to increase it, you want to activate the level of skin proliferation, what we call here healing rate. And by doing so and avoiding irritants, the skin cells will proliferate all over again, and your skin thickness at some point will go back to almost normal, I would say. I think in our condition, because we went through TSW, and for many of us, we already had skin issues beforehand, I think our skin will always be more sensitive than normal people, even though we will go back to 100% skin thickness. But by managing irritants in our environment, I feel like we will be able to reconnect to an almost normal life at some point.
One more skill testing question, because you're going home. Your healing rate will reduce because you will not have access to CAP every week the way that you've been doing now.
Yes.
So let's say you go through some irritant exposure at work.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Let's play this out at work. And what does irritant exposure look like on your skin? You end up with the irritation bumps. You then know something is wrong. What are you going to do back at home if that happens?
Honestly, I can't go again through TSW. I can't put myself in so much pain all over again. So I will do whatever it takes to get rid of all kind of external solicitation or external irritation, not to go back to ground zero again, because it's so hard, and I know that's for many of us it's been so difficult, and I feel like I don't want to live that ever again. So I will do whatever it takes, honestly, to not to go back to this stage.
Okay, thank you for that. What would you say to people? You're like, you've been here for 4 months plus, you've used a decent amount of steroids. You're going home, you look great.
Yes.
You feel great.
Yes.
Right? I mean, you went out dancing. Do you have like any sort of closing comments or thoughts? And can people get in touch with you about how you're doing? Because I don't know if you actively post about your journey.
I've been posting, but my account is I'm not a very good how can I say? I'm not a very good communication guy, but I've made an Instagram account.
I mean, he's great.
Thank you so much. But I've made a small Instagram account, and of course people can reach out to me. Et aussi voilà mes amis français, n'hésitez pas à me solliciter directement. I'm thinking that maybe French people can also get in touch with me, because I know that for French speakers it's not as easy to access this kind of information than for maybe native English speakers. So my Instagram account, I can give you the link, so maybe you can put it in the video. And so to answer your question, a closing word, I would say that I'm so blessed to have been here, to have made this decision. It's not an easy decision, and it hasn't been an easy decision for any of us here at the clinic. It's a huge commitment to come here in Thailand, to put your life on pause, to come here, to treat yourself, and to get some time for yourself, even though that it's for more than several months. So it's a long time, not on an entire life, but when you have an active life, it's still a long pause. So I'm so happy and so blessed to have made this decision. I feel so lucky also that I could manage to make this decision. And I feel like even if it's been a very difficult time going through TSW, I feel like this whole life experience has been really enriching to me. Meeting you, meeting all those people here at the clinic, the medical staff, and being on the other side of the world. It's very challenging, but it makes you like being evolving, like, in your life. So I feel like TSW brought me to this crossroads in my life, and I'm so happy I've made this decision, and now my life is also moving towards another direction, and I'm really happy about that. And I feel...
What do they say? They say, like, find the positives in the most challenging circumstances and situations, and you seem to have done just that.
Yes, but
so thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing this with me, William.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Good luck going home.
You too.